Hello, YouTube. Hey, just a quick note here. I wanted to say this is really quick and dirty. I'm afraid nothing real fancy here, but as you are possibly aware, about an hour ago, Bukkit dropped build 1185 for Minecraft 1.8.1. Ooh. Yeah, a lot of people have been waiting for this one to show up, including a lot of players and a lot of server admins. As you can tell here, I am still running my server still on 1.7.3. I haven't updated yet. I mean, it just happened tonight, and which is the point of this video I'm putting together right here real quick. Now, I know as you players, many people, players and that, are very anxiously awaiting your respective servers you plan to be updated to 1.8.1 if they haven't already, or at least, if they're running Bukkit, to be updated to the 1.8.1 build so you can start experiencing the Enderman and all the other improvements, the lighting of 1.7.3 and everything else. And for those of you who servers have been running using vanilla to get your creative and your worlds and the anti-grief and everything else back up and running to where you can go back to what you were doing previously. Now, this is the problem though. I want to ask you, all you players out there, please give your admins and server owners and everyone responsible some time to get this done. Don't go pestering them, immediately asking, "Oh, when's it gonna be updated? I want to play," or anything like that, or bugging the moderators or other people or anybody at all about this. Okay, let me show you something here. This is the shell to my server that I run. Now, I'm not worried so much about you seeing that name or whatever. It's a private name internally that doesn't exist on the outside of the world anywhere, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, look. This is my main directory. Pretty simple. I got a couple of backups in there of some stuff I was testing. See, I'm still running 1.7.3 there. Oops. I rename everything I can to keep versions up. Keep track of it. So you can see I've got my creative world, I've got the Skyland, I've got the 2 for the survival. Oops. And yeah, survival, the Nether for the survival, the creative world, and then the Highlands and my backups. Now, you see, I'm running a fairly simple small server here, okay? Oops. So I type that right. And this is my plugin list. I've got administrate for administrative stuff, like if I need to go into sneak mode or need to work on something somewhere and be there without getting heads jumped on by creepers. There's my backups. There's a little bit of utility for chunk loading this problem. There's the clean room that generates my creative world, so it's always the same. Command signs. We got here what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25 different freaking plugins here, guys. Every one of these needs to be updated, or at least somehow verified that it works with the new Bukkit build. That needs to then be tested to make sure it works. I mean, literally, this came in, got dropped, the announcement was made about an hour ago. It is 11:56 p.m. for me here on the West Coast. This takes a lot of work to get these. We got to wait for each plugin to be updated and rebuilt against the newest Bukkit build. The developer for each plugin has to test it, as well as the users testing it. And then, only then, if they're fairly convinced that it's a good build, it's that they've fixed all the bugs, will they announce that, "Hey, I've got this. Go ahead and try it and let me know if you find any more problems." Then there's more troubleshooting potentially, as maybe there's a bug. I used to do QA years ago. And if there's one thing I've learned doing quality assurance on anything, hardware or software, you're never going to find all the bugs on the first chance. The best way to do it, in my point of view, is to always put it out to the general public. It's getting dark. Yep, look at that. And let them play with it. And then they're going to find, they'll find more stuff because they'll be able to test things that you weren't able to as a developer. as well as find situations that you weren't able to reproduce, and just some really obscure ones. Like just recently, as an example, I had one where I'm using permissions EX for my permissions plugin. Oh, get out of the way! Die! Die! Spy chickens, as Paul Soares Jr. calls it. I kind of like it. Anyhow, I had using permissions EX for my permissions plugin, and I had a really weird thing happen where every time I tried to get the compatibility plugin working, it would fire up like I was running the old permissions plugin from that the Yeti was making, the old 2 series. Oh, come on, reset. Yeah, that's the problem with restarting the server. Redstone doesn't always work. I have to go check that real quick here. Now, this was just totally bizarre. I could not figure this one out. I finally narrowed it down after taking off plugins and rebuilding everything that it was a weird compatibility issue with a plugin I was using for interplayer email. For whatever reason, when I fired that up, it would turn it into the standard permissions plugin. It wouldn't work right. As soon as I took that out, everything worked fine. See, it's weird, obscure bugs like this that drive us server admins up a wall. So, this all takes a lot of testing to make sure everything's running. I'm running a small server here, and I've got all those plugins. Imagine how many plugins and everything else that a server that has, I don't know, maybe 100 plus players, what they've got to go through to make sure everything works. It is crazy at times. So, all I'm asking you guys is for all you players out there whose servers you play on is still running the older bukkit, hasn't been updated to 1.8.1, or is running vanilla, don't bother your admins or your moderators. They will let you know when it is safe to do it. They will let you know when it's done and ready. There is a heck of a lot of testing that still needs to be done. In my case, I've got to wait primarily for, which one was it here? Duh, I should know this. For not permissions. I've got to worry about the multiverse, which handles my multiple worlds, multi-inventory, and then the permissions plugin, and then potentially the creative gates or something, whatever I might end up replacing. I don't know. To get to and from the creative world, there's Inception, which handles the sky world, which I don't think is getting used all that much, so that one I might be able to get away with. But, clean room generator needs to be updated, backup needs to be updated, the gate one has to be updated, my Hawkeye for my logging needs to be updated, multi-inventory needs to be updated, multiverse needs to be updated. I mean, you see here, everything in red there, that's a plugin that I run. So there's a lot of work needs to be done here on my end. I've got to wait for them to get updated before I can even think about doing it. Then I've got to do my backups, got to do all my testing to make sure everything works right. Yeah, so, guys, pretty much give them some time. We're not being lazy. We're working as fast as we can. We have lives outside of this. We don't sit around and do nothing but run Minecraft servers. A lot of us have day jobs and night jobs and everything else. Please, I'm begging you, give it some time. Don't pester them. Pestering the guys who run the servers doesn't make it happen any faster. It just annoys them and slows them down because they have to stop and respond and potentially explain to you why they can't just drop it in. This here is not a drop-in update. 1.7.3 to 1.8.1 is a huge change in the core Minecraft game, as you know. So, give it some time, please. I mean, after all, if you happen to have a couple stacks of redstone, maybe some glowstone, maybe some diamonds, do you want to take a chance of getting it thrown together quicker than it really should be, and then potentially having the server crash and corrupt your world? The world that you're playing on, losing all your buildings, your creations, and those stacks of glowstone and diamonds and redstone and everything else? Yeah, we don't either. So, in summary, just be patient, okay? And we'll all be a lot happier. Thanks for watching.